Good evening everyone and welcome back to the Gunners Guild. Today I'm going to demonstrate Rapid Fire Normal 2 Light Bowgun. Sounds like a mouthful. Since the nerf to slicing ammo and buff to other ammos, a lot of gunners have been trying to find something to save light bowguns. It's been discussed pretty heavily on the Monster Hunter Discord, so I'm sure a lot of you are aware of this build already, but I'm going to go over it for those that don't. This is nowhere near as powerful as slicing shots, so don't get your hopes up, but it's a solid build nonetheless. For starters, let's go over the weapons. You have two options here, either Kama, which is Odogaren's light bowgun, or Cataclysm's trigger, which is Nerg light bowgun. Odogaren has a higher affinity, but Nerg has more raw. They both rapid fire normal 2s and spread 1s, but Nerg's has one more shot on the spread 1. But either option is fine, it's really up to you. We're using these weapons because they fire normal 2 shots with rapid fire, have average recoil, and reload on them. Rapid fire shoots 3 bullets at the same time and only uses 1 ammo. The first is going to be at 100% power and the second two are going to be at about 50% power. So you're basically getting a 2-for-1 deal on ammo. After you pick your weapon, the first thing you want to do is put bowgun mods on. Since we don't need recoil or reload mods to fire while reloading and moving, we're going to fill them up with close range mods. These add about a 15% damage boost and stack for each one you put on. And the range of close range is just a few steps away, so you're going to have to be playing very close and aggressive. It's going to be about this far. This is pretty much mandatory to get the most damage out of your shots. The distance for the long range mod is outside of the critical distance for normal 2 already, so we're not even going to bother with that. Next up, let's go over armor. We have a lot of freedom here because this is a raw based build, so most basic damage bonuses you see on sets will work here. But there are some skills that stand out however, and these are Ammo Plus, which when you have 2 ranks of it, lets us load 2 normal 2s rather than 3. I use the Kirin legs here because it also has 2 small slots as well. Normal Up, an obvious choice, 10% more damage on normal rounds. You can get this with either the Black Diablos legs or a decoration or a charm. Since I use the Kirin legs and I have the decoration, I just use that here. If you don't have the decoration, consider not using Ammo Plus and using the Black Diablos legs instead. Or you can just use the charm if you have it. Weakness Exploit. Obvious choice. Affinity on weak zones, and you gotta hit weak zones. You need a crit? There you go. Critical Boost. We're gonna have a ton of affinity, so this is a good DPS boost. Ammo Saver. This skill grants a chance to not consume ammo when you fire. It's entirely RNG based, so it's not always very helpful, but I like it. It comes from the 3 set piece of Xeno's gear. I like the gloves because they already have critical boosts on them, so 2 more pieces isn't a huge investment, especially when they have good slots. This is a really take it or leave it kind of skill. It's not going to hurt you if you don't have it. Maximum Might. This skill grants affinity when you're on full stamina. It's 10% affinity per rank up to 3 ranks. Since Light Bowgun can walk and shoot, you're not going to have to roll too often. This is going to keep your stamina maxed out most of the time, and this is a great skill if you can fit it on. I use this skill because I have 2 decorations. But you can also use the Nerg headpiece for another 2 quick rings. From there, you can just get attack boosts or critical eye or basically anything else you can fit on that does more damage, because trust me, Light Bowgun needs more damage. Here's a set without decorations that you can use. I know not everyone has all the decorations, so here's one you can use to get started. From there, here's one that I use that's fully geared out to the best that I can make it, at least as far as I like it. There are other alternatives with armor pieces you can use, so don't feel like this is the best set or the only setup. We can change around many pieces and still have a very similar set, and it's all going to depend on what decorations you have available, so experiment with what you have. Here's a set for low rank if you're just trying to start out. This doesn't use any decorations, so you should be able to get this pretty easily. Alright, with all the gearing out of the way, let's get down to how it plays. Rapid fire normal 2s are obviously your main damaging shot. You probably aren't going to go through 99 normal 2s that you can carry, but if you need more, just buy some Gunpowder 2 from the items vendor in Astera. You're going to want to buff your raw damage with Might Seeds, Demon Drugs, and or Demon Powders as well. You should be sticking close to the monsters and pelting them with normal 2s, and sliding away from attacks that may hit you. Your Wyvern Blast Mines are pretty potent, so make sure you use them on a down monster, or a charging one. Your mantle choice here can vary. Evasion Mantle grants extra damage for a short time after a dodge if you do so at the last second, which is great. Impact Mantle can cause KOs from headshots, which is where you want to focus most of your hits anyway, and Rocksteady is just, well, OP Rocksteady. You can use Affinity Booster too if you're running the Nerg light bowgun, but you shouldn't need it with Kama. There really aren't very many bad choices here. For solo, this build works pretty alright. Definitely good by light bowgun standards, but not the fastest thing around. It can still do temper monsters and even elders, just because it's safe, albeit a little slow. Online can be a little tricky since you need to make sure that the target faces you most of the time, and you gotta be really close to the monster, but thankfully light bowgun's mobility really helps you reposition. The landmines are difficult to use online since allies can detonate them, so make sure you only plant them when the monster is downed, and that they'll be used right away, because trust me, they're gonna get detonated early if you don't. Now, as an alternative, you can run the same build and swap out normal shot boost for spread shot boost, and use either gun as a rapid spread 1 gun, in which case Nergigante's light bowgun is the superior choice. However, if you want to go spread, you're better off just using a spread 2 non-rapid fire light bowgun. I've managed some pretty decent kill times with this weapon, and it's a lot of fun to use still, even if it's not the fastest thing in the world. But I hope you all enjoy it too. Well, that's all I have for this build for now. I really hope light bowgun mains can make some use out of it, because they really need something post-slicing nerf. Let's hope Capcom decides to buff bowgun ammo some more, because they really need it. Anyway, good luck out there, hunters, and I'll see you guys next time.